What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So I am finally back. I'm back in Medellin. So I was in Cartagena for 3 days, and it's really hard. It was really a challenge for me to shoot videos in Cartagena because I was only there for a short period of time, and so I didn't really have time to set up all my gear and everything. So I appreciate you guys supporting me. And that was just, it was a big challenge for me. If I'm traveling, I like to travel and be in a place for at least 2 weeks. That way I can get settled and I can really put out good content for you. But it's really hard when you're kind of on the move and you're doing research and then you're trying to figure out how you're going to shoot your videos. And then when I'm out shooting videos with my GoPro, it's a little bit harder because I don't have information in front of me to talk about things. I can't show you guys different clips and things like that. So I really appreciate you guys supporting me during those difficult times. Okay, now Today I want to talk about shrinkflation. Again, now I talked about this before, but I want to talk about it again because it looks like it's getting worse. And so I'm going to show you guys this clip. This is from PBS, and then we're going to talk a little bit about this because shrinkflation is something, if you guys don't know what it is, it'll be explained in this clip. But shrinkflation is something that we can avoid. And we're looking at inflation right now. We're looking at prices rising in all these different categories. This is something that if we know what we're looking for, we can save money during this time. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. But first off, on this channel, we talk about money and the financial struggles that Americans are facing today. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. That way you get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, if you see my name and a picture of me in the comment section, make sure you see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so before we get started, I do want to start putting out more premieres. That's another struggle too when you're out shooting videos and you're in a different location and you're trying to shoot with your GoPro. Usually I'm not shooting videos that are 15 minutes or more. And now that I'm set up here, I can really do a lot more research and I can shoot videos that are a little bit longer and we'll be able to do premieres on those videos. So that's one thing. So make sure if you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit the little bell notification. That way you'll be notified when I post a premiere. I post premieres 2 hours prior to the video going live. And during that 2 hour period, YouTube will promote it out and let you guys know that there'll be a premiere coming. Okay, so let's go ahead and first take a look and a listen to this clip, and then we're going to talk a little bit about shrinkflation. I'm actually going to show you a website too, a website you can go to find out more information and find out what products are shrinking. Okay, and let me just give you kind of a quick rundown when it comes to shrinkflation and what's going on. So you have companies that have products that are on the shelves, and what they do is they don't want to raise the price of that product. Because let's say if it's a box of cereal and that box of cereal costs $3.99, they don't want to raise it to $4.99 because if they raise it to $4.99, you are going to notice that. So what they do is they shrink the amount of the product. And so if you go in and buy a box of cereal, the box might look the same or almost identical, or in even some situations, the box is larger and it says family size instead of giant size. But guess what? It's less product. And that is what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of this, and companies are doing this. They've been doing it for years and years, but now this is a real crucial time because of inflation. And now we're seeing more companies doing this because they're saying, we don't want to raise prices. We don't want them to see that we're raising prices. So what we're going to do is we're going to shrink the amount of product. Okay, so let me go ahead and play this clip, and then we'll talk about it at the end. Here we go.
With inflation at a 40-year high in the U.S., we are all spending more when we go to the store. But economics correspondent Paul Solomon reports that there is another dimension of inflation these days, shrinkflation. We'll let him explain.
So what is this, the rogues gallery of shrinkflation? Or?
These are some of the newer items.
In fact, items consumer advocate and lawyer Edgar Dworsky had bought in just the past week.
The first one here is kind of an egregious example. Angelsoft toilet paper used to have 425 sheets on a roll. The new one has 320.
Wow, that's 25%.
So it's almost 2 full rolls in the new sizing. But look at the packages. Don't they look almost identical?
Do they ever? And that's the key to what's being called shrinkflation, says Dworsky, who writes the online Consumer World newsletter and has been tracking product downsizing for decades.
I remember the Charmin of the 1960s when Mr. Whipple came on TV.
I told him, squeeze the tomatoes, squeeze the melons, but please don't squeeze the Charmin.
And it had 650 sheets on a roll. The biggest one today has 366. It's about 90% less.
And it's not just toilet paper. Ice cream tubs used to be a half gallon, 2 quarts, then 1 3/4 quarts. They've now trimmed down to a svelte 1.5, because lately it's been the incredible shrinking everything.
Shrinkflation tends to come in waves.
And I want you guys in the comment section, let me know if you notice that products are shrinking, because I used to notice it, but I never really thought too much about it. But let me know in the comments, do you notice that products are shrinking? I remember when you buy potato chips, Doritos, things like that, the bags seem to be shrinking to me, but I didn't really think anything of it. But I want to know what you guys have noticed, so let me know in the comments.
We happen to be in the middle of a tidal wave at the moment because of inflation.
That's because material and transportation costs have been soaring since the much-reported supply chain snags. How to best pass them on to us consumers?
Manufacturers rely on both raising the price and shrinking the product. The difference is they know that consumers are price conscious, and consumers will catch the fact if that container of orange juice went from $2.99 to $3.39. And they'll balk, they'll complain, maybe they'll switch to another brand. But they know consumers are not net weight conscious. They're not going to notice, most of them, if the product has gotten a little bit smaller.
Especially not if the shrinkage is pretty much indiscernible. What is that, dishwashing detergent?
Well, this is Dawn. The current 7-ounce little bottle is now 6.5 ounces. So you lost half an ounce. Honest to goodness, I don't know how they did it, but just know the bottom line is you're getting half an ounce less. Here's Post Honey Bunches of Oats. The old one was 14.5 ounces. The new one is 12 ounces. To look at the boxes, they look identical straight on. But you got 17% less. That translates into 2 fewer bowls in the new box. And the price was the same.
Now, the official inflation rate is 9.1%. The Honey Bunches rate, 17%.
Now see that should be, I mean, that should make a lot of people upset, okay? The current inflation rate for June, 9.1%. But when we're looking at what companies are doing, they're taking profit on this. So not only are they going the 9.1% to make, to equal it out, what they're doing is saying, okay, it's going to be 17%. So now we're looking at profit of 7%. And so that's what we really need to focus on when it comes to these companies that are raising prices on products, and they're saying, well, we're doing this because of inflation. Well, if you were doing it because of inflation, then it would be close to where we are year to year when it comes to inflation. It wouldn't be a situation like this where they've raised this cereal product to 17%, but inflation is around 9.1%.
Wonder corporations are posting record profits. They can raise prices above the overall inflation rate, and we won't even notice.
Gatorade, forever it's come in 32-ounce bottles.
Yeah.
The new one is 28, so you lost 4 ounces in every one. But you look at them, you say, gee, they look at the same height. What did they do?
They squeezed the midriff.
They gave it a waistline. That's exactly right. And the company says, oh, now it's easier to hold. Well, thank you very much. I'd rather have the extra 4 ounces, and I'll suffer holding the old one.
And companies also rejigger the products themselves.
Folgers ground coffee recently reformulated. They said they fluffed up the beans so they could no longer put 51 ounces of ground coffee into their canisters. They could only fit in 43.5 ounces. But they're still claiming it makes up to 400 cups with half a pound less of coffee. You'll have to decide as a coffee drinker, is it still the same cup that you used to get?
So the onus is on the consumer to be hyper-vigilant, says Dworsky. In a supermarket, there's that unit price for everything, right?
I don't know the statistics of usage of unit pricing. My sense is it's very low.
Moreover, says the self-proclaimed Mr. Consumer,
Where unit pricing doesn't help is when the individual product changes. So unless you've memorized that your Keebler cookies were 14.3 cents an ounce and now it's 16.7 cents an ounce,
Right.
it's not going to help you.
I would be totally overmatched.
I mean, it's bad enough that I try to counsel people, look at the net weight, the net count, memorize it, and when you go back to the store, double check that it hasn't changed. How else are you going to, make a choice intelligently if you don't know what it used to be?
Yeah, but that's almost impossible. I mean, who's going to keep track of things like that?
Here.
yeah, but you're either a professional or a lunatic,
Right.
or both.
Or a little bit of both.
Meanwhile, for the rest of us, inflation at the store these days turns out to be even more pronounced than we realize because of shrinkflation. For the PBS NewsHour, Paul Salman.
Okay, so what do you guys think about shrinkflation? Now, this is something that the companies are doing, and they've been doing this for years and years, and right now it seems like it's getting even worse when it comes to these products. Now, the one thing that you can do to avoid this is know the products that they're shrinking. If you know that they're shrinking these products, buy a different product. That's my advice to you. And I'm going to show you guys this website really quickly, and we'll go over some of the products on the website. And this is a way for you to kind of fight inflation when it comes down to it, because these companies, they don't want to raise the prices. They just shrink the product, and in the hopes that you won't even notice and you'll buy their products. But what we need to do is buy different products, and then they'll realize we're losing money, and then they'll go back up to the same size that they used to, or they'll have this promotion. So Gatorade, that's 28 ounces now. We'll go back to 32 ounces, and it'll say new, bigger sizes for Gatorade. Okay, so here's the website, and it's called Mouse Print. Now, what you want to do, and this is his website. So the gentleman that was talking, that was being interviewed, this is his website. And so just go down to shrinkflation, click on that, and it'll take you to the different products that they're shrinking. This is the latest post, June 13th. Okay, so relatively new. And so he's showing you these sheets here, two ply. It was 116 for this sparkle product here, and now it's down to 110. Okay, so it went from 116 to 110. So if you look at a product like this, go to another product and buy that product if it's a better deal. Now, cereal, we talked about cereal a little bit. Looking at this here, this is the net weight is 20.5 ounces, and now the new net weight is 19.5 ounces. Okay, and the boxes pretty much look the same, right? They look the same, pretty much identical, but this box on the right, the new box, is just a little bit shorter. Okay, and I think this is the actual size print. Okay, Life cereal, same thing. And this is one that I was giving kind of an example of. Giant size, now it's family size. Giant size was 24.8 ounces. Family size is 22.3 ounces. Same price, but the product changed. But if you look at the box, the family size box, it's taller. So it would give you the illusion that you're getting more for your money now, when the reality is you're not. Moving down, we have Charmin, so we have toilet paper here, and they do these funny things with the rolls, but the bottom line is you're getting less in the rolls. You look down here at the bottom, 396 two-ply sheets, and now it's 366 two-ply sheets. But then when you look at the top here, it says 8 equals 48. It looks almost identical, right? There are no changes, but when you go down to the bottom and you look at the actual sheets, you see that you're getting less in the new product and you're paying the same price. Dog food, the same. Looking at the 50-pound bag here, and now it's moved down to 44 pounds. Okay, you're paying the same price, but you're getting a lot less. And so there are a lot of different products, and this is one where it went from 7 fluid ounces to 6.5 fluid ounces. And I mean, there's so many different products. Just keep going down the list and you see all these different products. But what I want you to do is go to this website, mouseprint.org. And when you see these different products, hopefully you can make a wise decision on what to purchase. And one of the important things that he said, and when he was talking about cereal, is because you're getting less, you're getting actually 2.5 bowls less of cereal if you go with the new brand compared to the new box compared to the old box. And so you're losing out. You're going to be you end up paying more in the long term, even though it looks like you're paying the same for that product. So I want you guys to, in the comments, let me know what your experience has been when it's come to shrinkflation. I'm going to do more videos about this because I think this is another way that we can help each other when it comes down to it. Because inflation, the prices are going up, but if we can really start targeting some of these products that are out there that are really cheating the American people, then we can save even more money, okay, in the long run. Because right now, every penny counts. And so if you can make that decision not to get this cereal brand and go with this cereal brand because this cereal brand is not shrinking their product, then I think that's a win for everyone. So let me know your stories below. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.